Hello everyone, welcome to our Dynasty Pride Team call. It's the 8th of October, can you friggin' believe? And I'm really excited that Emma has agreed to do a team call for us. So Emma and I, well, we met in Marbella on the Success Club trip last September, and you guys, you may have been on the call that Susie did for us, Susie Bell. Gosh, I don't know when she did that call, it was quite some time ago. So Emma is one of Susie's coaches who she welcomed in. You started as a challenger and she loved it and decided to become a coach, but you are now a diamond coach, which I think is amazing. But something that I think is absolutely fantastic is that Emma is a Success Club all-star legend. Is that right?
All-star. Yeah.
All-star. Oh, all-star. So 18 months. You'll be a legend by 24. Is that right?
Well, we won't talk about that.
Well, it's fine. We can talk about that because you will be. It's all good. But yeah. So I think that I just love Emma's journey. Like, one of the reasons why I invited Emma to be on here is that she has had such an amazing transformation, like mentally as well as like physically. And I mean, you're a mum, you've got Grace and Edward, who are two littles, and I just think that your story is really compelling in like the things that you spoke about when we were in Marbella. And I just thought, you've got such a wonderful journey, and how you hit the ground running as a coach, came in with no self-limiting beliefs, and you're incredible. And yeah, you're also, when will you finish your training as a PT?
Well, it could potentially be next week.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I just got a few, what's the expression? T's to dot and I's to cross. No, that's the wrong way around. T's to cross and I's to dot.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, so I thought it would be so awesome to like hear from Emma, hear about her journey so far. And kind of, I think that one of the things that often happens when you're a new coach is you come in and you kind of feel like, I've got to do all this training, I've got to do all this stuff. But I also think that there's something about being able to be consistent in your journey. And Emma shows that by how many months she's managed to hit Success Club. So I'm going to pass over to Emma. I'm going to sip on my little drop of wine that I had left in a bottle, and Maxo Relaxo. I've got a few questions for you, but I'll let you talk, and I'm sure the ladies will have some questions for you too.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting what you said about when new coaches come in and can feel overwhelmed by what they need to do and the training and stuff, because I feel like how I've approached coaching is that it's actually super simple, and all you got to do is do the things, and you've just got to keep doing them over and over again. So I'll come back to that. What I will say is that for all of this, fitness has been like I always say it's my gateway drug, because we all like are fitness enthusiasts. But what I want to convey to my challengers is it's not about just lifting weights, being like shredded or whatever. It is all about being able to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and then you can take that into other areas of your life. And that's how I feel like I've got into coaching, because fitness has given me that discipline to do things that I don't necessarily want to do in the moment, but it's just taught me to just get comfortable being uncomfortable. So I'll give you my little brief coaching story. So you sort of did a little intro there. So yeah, I'm a mum, I've got 2 children, they're 6 and 4. They're finally both in full-time school now. And I came into coaching in January of last year, and I was a challenger in the October of 2018. So I'd had like 3-4 months of being a challenger, and I had a really good transformation in Susie's Sweaty Souls. I absolutely loved it. I love the community as well. And I've been sharing my story on my Instagram just as a customer, just as a personal, like, it's nice to share. And so in the January, when she asked me to join her coaching team, which I didn't even know was a thing, I already had a bit of interest, because some people, friends and family and people that followed me on Insta are already saying, what is this? Like, you're getting good results. So I decided to go into it, like most people, just to get a discount on my Shakeology, because I loved it and it's pretty spenny. So I was like, I'll jump in and I'll be able to, cover off the cost of my Shakeology. But I never thought that it was going to be anything more than that. But I went to, fast forward to, I think it was in the April. Did you go to the Success Symposium? Yeah, in Harpenden, the event that corporate did. So I went to that event, and it was very much a training around the Success Club system, so the business activity tracker. And there were speakers from corporate, and I was, not going to lie, completely just bowled over. I was absolutely won over on that day. I went into that building, hobby, coach, you know, cool little community that I found, and I came out thinking, I am going to do this. I'm going to absolutely give it my best shot. I really want to do this. I want to be a coach. So Success Club system, the business activity tracker, became my Bible, my daily Bible. I was just like, I'm going to follow this. I'm going to do the things every day. I ticked it off religiously. And in our group, we had, in our coach group, we had an accountability thread to post up your business activity tracker every day. And I, every single day, would do it. So January, February, March, I'd had 1 or 2 customers come through the door. April onwards, Success Club, 6 or higher. So this works. So as I got more and more into it, month after month, following my Success Club business activity tracker, I started to sort of really realize that when they're telling us these things, like do this in this order, do this, that they're doing it because it's been proven to be successful for the, you know, for the big elite coaches. So this is a proven system and it works. So I continue to do the business activity tracker, and one of the key bits of the business activity tracker that we've been and development, and it's something that I'd never touched on in my life before. I never read a self-help book or done anything like that, but I sort of started off on all of the classics, Rachel Hollis, Atomic Habits. I had read The Secret before, but I started to uncover like little nuggets that I could apply to my coaching. So one of the first ones that made a huge difference to me in coaching was The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. Has anyone read that? Hands up if you read that one. Absolutely. When I say a book's life-changing, like that book is life-changing. I started to read it, and you get about 1 or 2 chapters in and you're like, how's she going to write a whole book on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like counting down in your head, like, really, is there a whole book? There's that. And then you read it and you're just like, wow, this is incredible. And so I applied the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to waking up in the morning, because I, like a lot of people, time management and just getting the most out of my day was an issue for me, like with my children and husband and comings and goings. I was like, if I can take a little bit of the evening, put it onto the morning and just wake up earlier, I will be able to get more done. I'll be able to do my BAT before the kids wake up. So it was around about the time where Morning Meltdown was about to be launched. So like just over a year ago, wasn't it, last summer? And I was kind of like, I knew that it was a morning program. Like, I need to put my money where my mouth is. I need to start doing this morning thing. I had previously tried to do it because I had done 80-day obsession, and I was like, oh, they're an hour. I think I need to wake up a bit earlier for that. And then all through the whole 80 days, like not one early morning, like I could snooze. I just couldn't do it. But I did it with I did 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I actually quit the habit of snoozing through using that technique. And I started to wake up at 5 and do a morning routine. So I started to get into meditation. So Daily Calm is the app that I use for that, but I have sort of subsequently dived into different other types of meditation. But I would do a morning meditation. I would do 5 things that I'm grateful for. I would do what my priorities are for that day. I would follow up with some messages that were in my inbox from Instagram the next day, and I would do my workout. And if I had a bit of time before the kids got up, I would go into my stories and I'd see who the first ones to watch are, because I love going in with the morning watchers and being like, hey, good morning, like what gets you up this early, because those are my people. So I wanted to get there when they were first watching my stories. So the morning routine has been a real game changer for me. And I feel like the morning routine has become kind of a part of my personal brand. I think in a way people are put off by it because it's like, I don't want to join up with you because I don't want you to tell me to get up at 5. I'm like, babe, you get up whenever you want to, but then don't tell me that you don't have time to do your workout. You know, you get up when you want to, but I'm choosing to do that because that works for me. So the morning routine, yeah, has been absolutely a game changer for me. And I'd even do that on holiday now. It's like so like natural for me to wake up before the children. Like, gives me such a positive outlook on the day when I can be in control of my mornings instead of them being in control of me. So yeah, so where are so I've got some notes here. following my notes. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The next thing that I wanted to touch on was something that I got from Atomic Habits. It's probably my other like favorite personal development book, and something that's quite near the start of Atomic Habits is the idea that he says about your habits actually shape your identity. So when you carry out actions, when you try to create a habit, it actually shapes who you are. So in terms of like, let me give you an example for like fitness. So people who see themselves as being on like a health kick or a diet, ultimately they're going to fail because that always has an end. It's always like something that you sort of do and then fail and then start and then stop. But if you're the identity, the outcome that you want is, I'm a healthy person that gets up and works out every day, that is going to get you to where you need to be. So I kind of applied that to coaching. It's like, I'm not giving coaching a go, I am a coach. And I used, which is something I do a lot actually, I use really positive visualization and manifesting. And people get a bit put off the word manifesting, but what I actually want my goals to be, what I'm actually aiming for. So I feel like, similar to fitness, people are kind of, they just throw the kitchen sink at it and they don't actually know specifically what they're working towards, so they never kind of get there. And it's the same with coaching. So I know, you know, some people, they want to be a 10-star diamond and, you know, be top 10 coach or whatever. I just set my sights on always hitting Success Club as a minimum and getting to diamond by the end of this year. It's like, that is a realistic goal for me, and I can break that down into realistic milestones. So, you know, every single month I need to be hitting Success Club 5, 6 or over. And then at one point I sort of set my goal to be 10, but that was getting a bit much. So make a realistic goal and just hit that goal, and absolutely positively believe that you can do it. So there's been months where it's been the last day of the month and I've been on Success Club 2, but in my head, there's no doubt in my mind that I can hit that goal if I put my mind to it. And yeah, you can do it if you put your mind to it. You really just do have to believe that you can do it. And it's all about actually positively visualizing what you want to achieve and having that real vision of what you want. So I've never visualized 10-star diamond and a Beamer on the driveway and a holiday home. I wanted to get to diamond. My new goal is 2-star diamond. So I've got a plan for that, because I've got my husband's account on one side and I've got 2 really promising coaches on the other side, and that's what I'm working towards now. That's my new goal. So yeah, so what have I covered? Atomic Habits, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and what was the other one? Visualization, and I had another one and I've lost the book. What was I going to talk about? I think I just wanted to talk about confidence in general, really. So I think Rachel Hollis was one of the first books I ever read, and she sort of talks about her journey to like building up her business, and I found that really, really inspiring as a mum. You know, just like we are able to have our own business, and it doesn't have to be a hobby. It can be a real passion that you can put into something. So I took a lot of inspiration from that. So I think those are like my main kind of like drivers of what's kind of got me here. Really just an absolute determination to always hit Success Club by consistently doing the things, and just knowing that if you do the things, then success is inevitable. But you can't say it didn't work for me if you didn't do the things. And it's the same as fitness, isn't it? You can't just slack off your workouts and like miss half of them, or like not put in 100% and then say, well, Beachbody doesn't work. You have to follow the program, you have to do it, you have to turn up, you have to show up. And it's the same with coaching. But I just love what personal development has done for me in terms of my whole confidence, because I now know that I can, whatever I do, I can put my mind to it and achieve it. So as part of that, last year I started training as a personal trainer, because I was like, I really want to be in, I want to immerse myself in fitness. I don't just want to be a coach and help people do Beachbody programs. I want to design my own programs. I want to do the whole package. And I've applied all of this personal development and this discipline to studying and passing those exams and getting that all ticked off. And it's honestly like the confidence that it's given me in my life to just know that like almost whatever I want to do, I can do it. If I just have that visualization of the end point, and I know that I can get there, and I can almost like feel the feeling of having it, then you can do it. It's amazing. And I want to thank Beachbody for bringing me here, because before I started doing this, I was so lost. I didn't like drifting around in my career. I was a really bad procrastinator. I always just did jobs that I never really, didn't have any passion for, but just kind of felt like there wasn't really anything else for me. So to be able to find something that I'm really passionate about, and that I can help others with as well, because I've got some coaches in my team now that are absolutely smashing it. And like the feeling of like helping people with their fitness is amazing, but the feeling of helping people build a business is incredible. So yeah, I've got much to the next level. But yeah, every day I'm going back to that business activity tracker, because that's the basics, that's the building blocks of all of it. So all of these like big plans of like 2-star diamond and everything, I've still got to get 3 to 5 customers through the door every month.
I think I love that. And Emma, I think that's the thing, like what you said right at the beginning is I've not overly complicated it. I've got we've got this tool, you do the things on there, and yes, everyone does them differently and you have to find your own way and all that sort of stuff. If you do them every day and you do them consistently, it does pay dividends. And I think that, one of those things, and, like you were saying, it's working on yourself. I was absolutely the same. When I started this, I was like, I work in mental health. I've done a psychology degree. I don't need no self-help shit. And like, actually, it's completely changed my perspective in every area of life. And you are so, so right. And I think that it's amazing here. Like, so many people say that, don't they? But we are all such skeptics at the beginning, and there's so much power to it, I think. And I really love that. I think we talk a lot about visions, and like you said, some people have these crazy visions that they want this and this, but just having that, by the end of the year, this is where I want to be. I want to be a diamond coach, and these are the reasons why I want to be it, and know why you really, really want it. And I think that there is so much power in that. And if you don't get real with yourself over what you want and why you want it, then you're not gonna, it just becomes this daydream, which is, we're not living on purpose, are we? We're living, but not on purpose. If that makes sense.
Definitely, yeah.
So I love that. Kirsty had a question. Do you tend to take coaches on from existing challenges or brand new people? Good question, Kirsty.
Yeah, so all of my coaches are challengers that have converted. They've all been in my groups for a while and decided to either become a coach for the discount, or because they wanted to build their own businesses. And I have had discount coaches in my groups that have just sat back on the sidelines and absorbed the energy, and then decided to recommend their like sister-in-law or their next door neighbor, and then they're now like, oh, actually I think I'm going to start sharing on Instagram, and because they've like absorbed the energy from the team. So yeah, I tend to, and this is a personal thing, I tend to not really talk so much about the business opportunity on because I have 2 Instagrams. So I have my sort of recruiting Instagram, if you like, and then I have a customers only private Instagram. So I talk about the coaching opportunity in my customer bubble, because then I can talk really openly about it, and I can talk about, you know, what the cost is and what it actually looks like for them, without kind of being coy about it and being like worrying that people are going to start like trolling me in the comments. So that's the way I do it, and that works for me.
That's really interesting. So when you bring someone in as a customer, you then invite them to that?
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
So that's quite new. So I only set that up about a couple of months ago when Susie was away, because before that we had like a shared customer group which we all put our customers in, Sweaty Souls, you know the brand, but it had grown really big. It's victim of its own success. It was like 400 or 500 customers, and my people were kind of getting a bit lost in there. And what with it being a North American coaches in there as well, the time zones were just freaking people out a bit. I don't know whether you have that in your wider group. So I decided to just take my people and put them in their own little bubble, and so far that's really working really nicely. And what I really love about it as well is things that like chit chats that go on in our challenge groups, like issues that tend to come up that are sort of common themes almost that run through the challenges. I can then take those topics and talk about them, unpack them a bit more in like lives and IGTVs in the private group, and it sort of, I feel like it adds more value to the group, but it stops me having to do like loads of individual like message threads to people, and that's working really well. Got another question. I'm studying, how did you fit in study? Okay, so when I say last year, I mean last school year, if you know what I mean. So last school year, my daughter, she's in reception now, so she was in preschool 3 days a week. So before that I had freelance business doing social media, and we were paying for her to go to nursery. So it was like I was hardly earning any money, so it almost made sense for me, and I wasn't enjoying my job at all. So that I was on kind of a sabbatical. So we took her out of nursery, we would put her into the free nursery in the primary school 3 days a week, and then on those 3 days a week I did my PT coursework and coaching. So it probably split out 2/3 to PT and 1/3 to coaching. I just write some posts and captions and tee them up for the rest of the week, or do some like lives in Instagram or something, and then do all my studying in the daytime. So it's quite a lucky, the timing was perfect for me, and I had, like, before the pandemic hit, I had planned to be all finished that in the spring. In fact, my final exam was the first week of lockdown and it got cancelled, and I had planned to be all finished in the spring, and then sort of spend spring and summer getting myself established and maybe like building a website or whatever, and then hit the ground running in September. And obviously there's been a 7-month delay, but we will get there.
These things happen for a reason. I think that's awesome, and I think I love that you're not just this kind of like Beachbody hat and that's it, and that actually it's like you want to be do your PT stuff. And I think that sometimes people often are like, they are PTs already, or so they're like, well, why would I want to coach because I'm a PT? Or, how would you say the two work together, both ways, I guess?
Yeah, it's interesting actually, because one thing like that's given me a lot of confidence since I've studied the PT qualifications is that I can genuinely say that these Beachbody programs are textbook amazing, well-designed programs. So anyone who's like shit talking it and saying it's just like some like aerobics video, like it's not. They're really good. Like the way that they're designed, or the more strength-based ones. I haven't personally done a lot of the sort of Shaun T type ones because I don't like cardio, but the ones that I have done, like 21 Day Fit, amazing, 80-day obsession, amazing, Live 4, amazing, and I can literally look at those programs and look at the programming on them and the reps and everything, and look at my textbook and be like, yes. So it's given me a lot of confidence that I'm actually I guess, like a brand ambassador for something that's really good. And in the future, when I'm working with clients, I would like to definitely integrate the two, because it's a fantastic product. You get such good value for money. Like when I had to hand in a project last week so it's my final project to be signed off, and it's a 12-week exercise program split into 3 phases of 4 weeks. And it took me hours to do it. I'm like, you've got those like reams of them on board, you know, for £100 and odd a year. Like if I was going to be doing that for a client, I would be charging them a lot more than £160, you know. So we've got ourselves a really amazing product here, and it's given me a lot of confidence to know that and be able to sort of say that with professional knowledge. And like, I think my coaches appreciate the fact that they've got my knowledge to back them up as well.
And so how do you know, because I mean, even, you know, people that have never had a PT, you know, that's the age old, you know, excuse is I can't afford it. What, you know, how do you cover that? Because I mean, actually, I think for me, I always say to people, actually, it's too expensive and I can't afford it, are two very different objectives.
Because anyone in my DMs who comes back with that price objection, I will usually go back and say, well, let's figure something out then. Do you want to join a free group? Do you want to do a 3-month trial? I've never done a free group, because all the people I've offered a free group to, they're suddenly nowhere to be seen. So it is an excuse. And I know personally that since I've committed to, you know, a health and fitness lifestyle, there's a lot of things in my life that I don't buy anymore, like that have gone by the wayside. So I hardly on point total. Like people put bottles of wine and like 6-packs in their shopping trolley, and then they're like, I can't afford Shakeology, you know. Or they go to they have a gym membership and they go like twice a month, you know. But what I say to people is like, the people who are really happy, really confident, they're really happy with their bodies, they know that they don't procrastinate, they're brilliant at time management, etc., they're not in my DMs inquiring about joining me. So I know that these people have got needs, and it's whether or not that they can afford not to join, you know, because I think we can sort of acknowledge our privilege and say that, yeah, there are people that can't afford it, they just haven't got that type of money. But I generally think from the type of people, like I follow a lot of people on Instagram. I see people's lifestyles. I see the ASOS hauls. I see the bougie holidays. I see the kitchen renovations. I know these people have got the money.
I completely agree with you. And I think that's it. You need to decide, like, how unhappy are you with where you are with this? And I think I can't remember, I think I was listening to a Gabby Bernstein thing, a bit infatuated with her. I don't know if...
Yeah, I love her.
But she did, you know, one of the things you have to realise, at what point, you know, are you so unhappy with something that actually something's got to give? Are you happier being unhappy with where you are, or, you know, this? And it goes the same with time. You say you're really busy. Yes, we're all really busy.
That's how I was with my own fitness journey. It almost, like, with hindsight, I know I can now see that it wasn't the weight, although I did have lost a lot of weight. It was the absolute sense of like paralysis, that I wasn't in control of my own mind. Like I couldn't get myself to do anything. Like I was so, like, I just felt useless and rubbish. Like I couldn't motivate myself. And exercise has taught me how to do that. And I know that it's not some like feeling that comes down out of the, like, you know, on a shooting star and whacks you in the head. You've got to do the thing first, feel the feeling of how good it feels, and then go, oh yeah, that's why I need to do it. It's like action first and then motivation comes second. And like, as I said, like, you know, I've been able to apply that to so many other areas of my life. And I want to shout that to the rooftops to people who say they can't afford it, because I'm just like, well, from what you've told me about your goals, you need to be maybe thinking about like cutting down on your takeaways or your wine, or like, because I think you need it.
I love that brutal honesty. And sometimes I think people don't like to hear the truth, but it's sometimes what they need to hear.
No, I know.
It's hard, isn't it?
The truth does hurt. Yeah, it is hard. It is hard. And obviously as coaches as well, we obviously, there's a lot of things that we think in our brains that we can't say. But yeah, providing that accountability to people it was accountability that I needed. I needed Susie to say, yeah, you can do it in 10 minutes. Come on, we'll go on Zoom together and do it. And it was just a few times of having that accountability and that self-belief that I started to realize that I've got it within me, and everyone's got it within them. They just need a bit of a kick up the bum.
They do. And do you know what? Susie gave me a kick up the bum to say I was so going to sack off my workout. And she's like, Hannah, have you been on yet? It's like, no. She's there in your face. So no, I love that. Cool. Has anyone else got any other questions?
I've got a couple, but yeah. I'm trying to get clear. So I guess one of the things I do follow you on Instagram, Emma, and you're not kind of like, a lot of your stories and stuff, I would say, is more like quality rather than quantity, whereas especially with the single stories, I feel like I'm chatting loads now, which is like, it's definitely more quantity at the minute. But what I'm trying to say is that potentially I'm thinking that most of your stuff must be obviously behind the scenes, and so more of that kind of like chat with people, rather than, because I can be guilty of chatting, shut up Vicky, just get to the bloody point. And that's I guess the kind of, what sort of stuff are you kind of, apart from the obvious as in following the tracker and stuff like that, I guess how engaging people. Yeah,
a lot of my work has been in my challenge groups, like really concentrating on like team building and trying to like bring my customers and pitching the coaching opportunity, and building my private group, and doing sort of education on Shakeology to try and get people to keep with their subscriptions and stuff. So that's been more my focus recently. Although it's interesting what you said about the talkie stories, because I do find that if I like really need to hit Success Club and I haven't, that I can, if I do some more talkie stories, then I do get a bit more engagement. But
okay.
There's only so many hours in the day. But yeah, it's interesting that you've noticed, because yeah, I have been doing a lot more work with my existing than like Instagram. Also, I'm just kind of like hating Instagram at the moment, and it's annoying me. So everyone sort of moans about the algorithm, don't they? But honestly, my like reach is abysmal at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm curious as to how, I know I've only got 500 followers, and I know everyone says, oh, it's not about how many followers you have, it's about the engagement, etc., etc. But I guess I'm just wondering about how you kind of onboard new people. I'm not saying you obviously don't have to be lots of chat in the stories. I'm just intrigued into your process with new people. Yeah, I guess
when they're signed up.
Yeah, like signing new people up. Yeah.
So I've started to do a link in my bio now, which is a link to a form to fill out. And I find I get a lot more inquiries through that, because I think people are a bit like worried about going into DMs because they think that they're going to be like sold to. So I do get a lot more inquiries through the link in my bio, and I've put some questions in there about their goals and stuff, because then I feel like I can go back with more of a tailored answer of like what I can offer them. But in terms of like onboarding customers, I've tried to sort of make it quite automated these days, and I've now done like customer training videos on a YouTube channel. So when they sign up, I'm like, just watch these 3 and then join this WhatsApp, and then right, you're in, rather than like have to do it all like individually. And I found that's working quite well.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. Thank you. Oh, you're on mute, Hannah.
Yeah, I've got like 2 dogs in here as well, and they're making a racket. I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because everyone does it so differently, but I kind of feel like that a little bit about our group, is that I've got all these ladies who are smashing it, but none of them ever comment in our group. And bod groups isn't working for me either, but I know that they're all doing the workouts, but it's taken me so long to check in with all of them, I can't keep up.
Yeah, I do it all in WhatsApp now. I've decided, like, because all I can hear is in the business builders group about how glitchy it is, and I'm just like, oh, I can't be dealing with that. I'll wait till it's working fine, and then I'll maybe consider it.
Yeah, I think that that's the way I've got to go, because it's literally, it's doing my head in.
Yeah.
I set up a new bod group and all my ladies are like, I can't join it.
But the private Instagram is new and it's working really well, because then it's only my customers that can see the videos, and it means I can talk in depth about things that are issues for them in that particular week. And it means obviously then that I save them as an IGTV, and then I've got that video as a resource, so I can keep sending people back to it
and tagging them.
I guess
can I be a patron? Could you add me to it just to see how you do it, and then I'll leave. I'd love to see how you do it, because that sounds like a really lovely way of being like, as one of my customers, you get access to this and this, you know, yes, you've got this wider page, but this is how I love that idea.
Yeah, that's, I guess, kind of like giving them their value add, you know.
Yeah, that's really lovely. I love that. We're going to get cut off in a minute, but Emma, you're a love. I really love you.
Thank you.
I can't believe I haven't seen you since like 1902.
I know, I want to give Alethea a cuddle.
I know. It aches me. We were talking about it the other day, that like, screw this, we've got to do something. We've got to do some kind of meet up, even if we all stand like 2 meters apart.
Well, we were going to do one, and then Susie went off. So
she buggered off for a month. But hopefully this rule of 6 will be gone soon, and we can start back.
Yeah. Well, at least nobody can take bod away from us and like lock it down or quarantine it. That's what I keep saying.
That's it. That's exactly it. You're so right. No one can quarantine us. But thank you so much, my love. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma.
Bye.
We will see you soon, hopefully. Take care, everyone. Bye.